because I am completely unprepared, because I had only a few hours to prepare, rather. And we're going to talk about, I got a herpes medication ad. Oh my God. Nasing, what are you watching? Oh my goodness. But yes, hello, Joe to go. We're going to talk about, I don't even know. I'm hoping we have some good disagreements that are not just, oh my God, I hate you, you're an SJW. I'm hoping we have some. Oh, did that not pin? Yeah, it pinned. Everyone can see that, right? We can see that. Okay. But besides disagreements, there may not be any. Who knows? That's okay too. I'm okay with that too. We'll probably just bring in calls if there is that way, but we'll give people some time. Hello, Angelo. Angelo is driving. Goodness gracious. So, as far as news this week, you guys should definitely check. I haven't seen Hominus yet. He did another really good video. Maybe we'll look at that. We'll look at that while we wait. Another really, really good video. Given how hard it is to tell these days what a mod does, because it's no longer gives the full message unless it on the phone. I say a mod should post if they're booted or hit a person. Oh yeah, that's fine. Hello, Reese. Hello. Oh, Hominus is here. We'll go there. Until we get some calls. He did an awesome video this afternoon, and we should give credit where credit is due. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm just gonna start a fight. Wait, you mean Pink the singer? Na 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 na. I'm gonna start a fight. Oh my God, I freaking used to really like Pink back in, like, I think a lot of girls went through that phase that basically we thought Pink was, maybe not, maybe I'm the only one, where we thought Pink was super cool. Yeah. Is that sad? I probably shouldn't have admitted that out loud, but I was like, whoa, she's such a rebel. Look at her rebelling against I don't know, modern women and stuff like that. Yeah, I was also 10. Give me a break. Give me a break. Come on now. Yeah. YouTube needs to fix that so it's different, because you guys can only see if someone gets like booted or whatever if you're on mobile. Yeah, that sucks. Hello, Lord Nurgle. Holy crap, it's a blast from the past. I kicked his ass in Mortal Kombat long ago. Lord Nurgle's cool though. All right, let's check this out. Hominus does these great videos. And I think I said this maybe on Thursday or Tuesday, whenever we talked about it. You let me win my ass. He does these great videos of not actually even having to do anything except for use somebody's words against it. Looks like a video from space. Hello, Otis. Be sure your sin will find you out. And I'm not. Is there audio yet? Ominous? There we go. I'm like, what am I missing here?
Tell us what you remember. All right.
Hello, Carrie. Joe to go. Got a little tag from your conversation with. Can we do the whole thing they do with Amber? We'll talk about that here in a little bit. The whole thing they do with Amber, where she who shall not be named. That's what we're gonna do. Tristan herself said that criticism finds people be better. That helps people be better. Okay, I can read here. I apologize. Joe, you made sense. I did not. Are you saying that Tristan is wrong about that? All I did was criticize her to help her. I'm a okay, so this is not Joe. Okay, let's start over here and pretend I didn't say a word. This is what he who shall not be named. I don't know. That makes him sound cool, way cooler than he actually is. I'm a Christian, and if I said that I didn't want to help her, I would be lying, and lying is a sin, and I don't want to sin. So yes, I did do this to help her. Notice how the conviction of convincing yourself so often is ridiculous. And that is exactly what he's done here.
What?
We got the record, son. Don't lie to me.
I think it's funny because when I seen this, I'm like, I want to see this movie now. What is this movie about? What is it? It looks good. But anyways, I never called anyone a simp. Okay, I want you guys to keep in mind he said he doesn't lie because it's a sin. I never called anyone a simp. Again, please show me where I said that. That's a big deal, right? The lying thing, the sinning thing.
So I can get my ass beat.
You're lying to me. Tell me the truth. Now you're lying to me. Tell me to look at me and tell me the truth. You're lying to me. Why are you lying to me? Why are you doing that? Why you treat me like this? I'm tired too.
I never called anyone a simp. Again, please show me where I said that.
We're trying to work with you. If you just tell the truth, we can get through this real easy. Just tell the truth.
Well, I said that,
Paraphrasing Tristan's biggest simp. I'm his biggest simp. I'm his biggest simp. I'm his biggest simp. I'm his biggest simp.
Hominus does this great job of using his own words against him. I love it. I love
His
it.
biggest simp. I'm paraphrasing Tristan's biggest simp. Fan. Robert Willing. He claimed.
Notice when he tried to act like he was like, oh, I mean fan. Like, how absolutely rude.
That I want to fix Tristan. Well, fix may not have been the best word. Perhaps the word save is better, as in how Jesus saved the sinners.
This is the one we went over on stream. I can't help but laugh at the audacity it takes to compare yourself to Jesus. I am not even the biggest Christian person, and I would never do that. Like, it takes a whole bunch of balls to compare yourself to Jesus.
So I want to save Tristan in that manner.
I think that's pretty much it. It is. Another great video. Denzel movie was The Inside Man. I've never seen it, but now I'm interested. Like, just because of this little clip it. And I don't understand why I seen Carrie say about why they're attacking Robert. I don't know. I'm assuming because he sends occasional super chats and comes on the channel. That is my guess. Doesn't make it okay. Doesn't make it all right. But that is my guess. Hello, figure drawing. But I don't know. Other than that, I really have no idea why they would do that. Gabby Hanna has been comparing herself to Jesus recently. No. And it's pretty common among narcissists. That is so... With Gabby Hanna, she's like OG. She's pretty, if I remember correctly, she was when Vine was around. I think if I'm thinking, she's got a big nose, right? Not in a disrespectful way. She's a pretty girl. I'm just saying, but I can't believe there's no disagreements, you guys. Really, 4 weeks I have had to deal with these bullshit. I am relatively not one of the most, but definitely more hated online. And there's no disagreements. Looks like I win Saturday. Woohoo! They were mocking him on JDA's stream too. Ah, jeez, oh Pete. Bianca, you want to come on? We can talk about DC or something. Well, I told you guys I had nothing planned, and it did not work out in my favor. Holy shitballs. That was not a joke. I will show you guys this though while I send this to Bianca. Wait, I'm ridiculous. There we go. I will show you guys this though. Where's that email? I did not know that this was going on because I don't use social media. And apparently a bunch of the weird cultists are... I can hear you. Bianca, you there?
Yeah.
Well, alrighty.
I didn't expect to be called out. So.
I'm sorry. This is insane. So what I don't understand about this is what I put out as far as shorts are pretty much her own words. Like, a lot of it is clips or clips that I've transformed in some way. How is it may be I may be able to say that a little bit is about monetizing off misogyny in a small fashion, but you're going to have that off anything.
Exactly.
I'm actually only... how about more like monetizing her misandry?
Again, why I say again? I always say that. I think they're just doing this because they're stands, and you're one of the people they probably did a Google search saying who else, and basically trying to find out someone else. And I bet you they're doing it because everyone's going after Tug. Everyone's going after. Let's find someone they haven't gone after, and I can get this fire started.
Well, yeah, I guess I can see that, but
that's my guess. That's my guess. They're one of the people who just wants clout.
If they haven't taken... Whoa, Bianca, did you fall?
She dropped her mic fell. She did that before on one of my other videos.
That's true.
But if they haven't taken Tug down, what in their...
Because you're smaller, because you're smaller. That's what they think. They think you're smaller. They can go after you, take you down. It's no different than the other guys wanting to try and take you down because they think, oh, she's smaller than Ethan and JDA, that we can do this, and I can be the one to topple her over.
Yeah, I guess I get that, but like, I don't know. I see it as a very silly thing because, okay, let's look at these pictures here. Because a lot of what they're showing, this is a clip from, Bill Maher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is a clip from Anne Hench, who just recently passed away.
Rest in peace.
This is a thing about Amber's appeal. This is Amber talking. This is an interview with
You're not twisting her words or anything. You're just putting stuff out there that's already out there.
Yeah, and I would say out of all of them, this one down here is where she's yelling at Johnny, suck my dick, and all of that.
No comment.
Bianca's so cute! I love her!
I actually did my hair. But this camera doesn't show my curls.
No, I see your curls. No, I see your curls.
To me, it just looks like a big flat blob.
Oh, hey, it could be worse. You're going to have Gamora's long hair cape.
I hate her hair so much. How the heck do you deal with the whole glasses thing?
What do you mean?
Like, I have that little... I see the screen.
Oh, the glare.
Oh, the glare? Probably because I don't have my light coming towards me at all. That's why.
Light?
The camera clearly gives off a bit of a light that reflects, or I might be at the angle or something.
There we go.
Where'd you go?
There we go.
Oh, she's gone.
No, come back, come back.
Come back, please.
That did not help.
Oh, wait. I think the other reason
Ah.
the other reason is your screen. Your screen gives off a light. My screen does not give as much of a light off, so it's not reflecting.
How do I do that then?
It's the type of monitor. If you're using it from like a laptop or something, those always give off light. My monitor does not give off that much light at all, unless you turn off the lights.
I don't even see a glare now. You're good.
Yeah, I don't see it now from the angle you're at.
Yeah, you're good.
So I'm just gonna have to be like this the entire time. Hi. How are
You
you?
look like a comic character talking to someone like that. Like,
Yeah. I just came back at 1 o'clock from the Comic-Con. It was like 2 to
what
3 hours
Comic-Con?
earlier than what I expected.
what Comic-Con?
UltraCon, of course.
Never heard of it.
Because Florida sucks.
No, Florida has some really good comic conventions. I just never heard of that.
Only the ones in Fort Lauderdale are good.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to find anything not anime, comic book related in Florida Comic Cons nowadays? Like, it's like a couple panels, a few artists, and then everything else. This year, today, freaking crystals. And I'm like, yo, I don't want your Pokemon crystal crap. Where's my comic books? Where's my art?
Are you there,
I
Reese?
have money this day.
Hey, Reese.
Your car again?
Yeah, I
Oh.
totally should. Yes, I should. I should probably. So how did your Comic-Con go? You never told me. I said I wanted to live vicariously through you. Tell me.
First, I thought about doing a live, and then I'm like, no. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do pictures. And then I got anxiety, and so I didn't. I took my
Oh.
pictures.
Aw.
So that failed.
Did you get to meet anyone?
You know Miss Meow?
Yeah.
There is an artist who did a cover, and it was a retail exclusive cover. And he's also he does know like Drew and Shane. And I got one of his retail covers that's not anywhere. And then I also got one of his comics.
Ooh.
I also got some art. He had really good Harley Quinn art.
Wait, was it Jamie Tyndall?
Yeah, but Jimmy Tyndall, I've seen him too.
No.
No.
No?
he
I
does
literally have-
covers
I
for
have
them
my
sometimes.
bag, like right here with all his info and stuff. I follow him on Instagram now. Oh, I follow him on Instagram now. Espérate un momento, por favor.
Un momento, por favor.
Reese, do you have audio?
I do, I think.
Yes,
Can
you
you hear
do.
me?
I hear you now. I was just making sure. How are ya?
I had nothing to disagree on, so I was waiting for y'all to say something I disagree with.
No, apparently, you know what? This is the first time I've ever gotten on here and been like dumbfounded, like, Bianca, Robert, and Reese for the save.
I know. Hey, just call it. This is what I always call it. Just call it shoot the shit. That's what I always call these streets. It's where we just talk random stuff. Anything that comes to mind, just.
Yeah, I know, especially because Reese loves She-Hulk. He said he loves the new episode.
Oh no. No. That's not even wow.
Let's not, oh no.
No, that's no. I haven't seen She-Hulk. I've seen a lot of the clips and
Gosh, episode 2 is so much better.
Be right back.
that shit is trash. I couldn't do it.
But you said you
Just
only
hearing
saw the clip.
Just hearing the stuff I've seen, no, I'm good. Like that's.
So if somebody says this is male bashing, you're going to automatically believe it without looking at it yourself.
Yes.
At least you're honest.
I've seen enough to know that there's some. At least I've seen enough to at least know that Bruce is now, and he should be She-Hulk, and I'm pretty much there now.
Robert, do you think they're setting up Planet Hawk?
No. No.
Oh, he didn't hear me
Listen,
anyway.
Robert, don't. Robert, say no. Robert, say no. They already fucked that up with Thor.
You think they're setting up Planet Hawk?
I don't think they're setting up Planet Hulk. I think they're going to set up World War Hulk.
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
they're gonna ruin that now.
Hey, first of all,
Now they're gonna fuck that all up. Okay, that makes
I
sense.
do not look at what they did in Thor Ragnarok as being fully doing Planet Hulk. Obviously not. It just took elements from it. It just
which is what they always do.
They just took elements. It was not an adaptation. Was it in the title? No, it wasn't. So it wasn't meant to be a full-on adaptation. It just took elements like they've done before. They've done this throughout the entire MCU. Why is this new to you? They've done this before. They do not do one-to-one adaptation. They do broad strokes, cherry-picking elements from it. For example, I had an argument with someone about this before. They were saying how with Thanos, they're saying, oh, they completely undid everything. It's wrong. It's like, technically his reasons why he wanted to take out half the life in the universe was exactly the reasons Lady Death wanted him to do it. So in other words, they just took out the Lady Death portion and just had it be he came up with the reason. He didn't have to be told to do it. And that's the other thing is he wasn't doing it to impress her. He did it under her orders.
Well, see, here's the thing about one-to-one adaptations. I've learned to hate. No. Hold on. I'm stopping myself before I say it. I was gonna say I've learned to not like them because I know what's happening, but Sandman was nearly a one-to-one adaptation. But did Reese fall or did he say hold on?
He said hold on.
Okay. But they changed just enough that it was still kept you guessing.
It's like Batman Year One, the animated adaptation. That was a one-to-one, and it worked. Same with Dark Knight Returns was a one-to-one. But as far as most others, then you have, like, for example, Batman Hush anime movie. That wasn't even close. It's like...
I actually didn't... I know, but... It wasn't bad.
I didn't say it was bad. I just think I'm talking about this as an adaptation.
So, like, in a disguise, they said that She-Hulk was going to save Hulk. He's not on Earth right now. He's in space.
And she's not going to go into space as far as we know unless they do the whole living tribunal makes her a lawyer or judge for him, like Dan Slott did.
Yeah, but that would
understandable
propel it really far.
Yeah, unless I don't think they're going to bring the living tribunal in anywhere. I do not think they're going to bring him into this. But look, the reason why they cherry pick, and I saw Nerdy Create say she hates that, and she hates that. They do it because there's so much to tap from that sometimes you kind of have to just cherry pick and pick and choose it all. Now, do they always do it perfectly? No, of course not. I would have to agree. There are some times where they botch it royally.
Planet Hawk. Can I say something? I stayed quiet this whole time.
Go ahead.
Planet Hawk was an awesome story.
Oh, yes.
Great book.
My favorite. One of my favorites.
It was damn near epic. And to butcher it the way they did in that movie is almost come back from it.
Is it a butchering?
It's crap.
If they didn't even
yes,
try
it was a butchering. Yes, it was a butchering. It was a beat down, a stomp, a run over, a an embowelment disaster of Planet Hawk. Like, they took it and they shit it. Like, bottom line. Like, I mean, y'all, you can explain it how you want, but that story is nowhere near what was Planet Hawk. He didn't get enslaved the way he should have. I mean, he didn't meet Shorty the way he should have. Like, his kid don't get born, no, well, maybe, because, I mean, maybe he met Shorty on the low and we don't know nothing about it. Truth be told, this Planet Hawk-wise, it's a mess. And what reason to come back to Earth and fuck everybody if they didn't send him there? If they didn't kick him off the planet? His beef was with them cats for kicking him off the planet. I'm just saying.
It was a Thor movie. It was a Thor movie where they added elements from it. It wasn't
talking it.
but they put Hulk in it because unfortunately, thanks to Universal, they couldn't do a Hulk solo movie. So the only way you can ever do anything with Hulk and progress his story is to have him appear in other people's movies. That's why they did it. That's why they added elements.
And they shit on him. And I mean, just admit what they did. They shit on the book. They totally shit on it.
It's not a shitting on it if they weren't even trying to adapt it. They just took elements.
Maybe they were all right. Maybe they wasn't trying to adapt it, but as they wasn't trying to adapt it, they shit on the Hulk. Like bottom line, like what you want
with the Gladiator?
They wasn't trying to do a Hulk movie. As they was trying to make sure they didn't do a Hulk movie, shit on him while they was not doing a Hulk. What you mean how? They turned his epic story into Thor's backstory punchline.
They can still do it. They can still do it. They just took the Gladiator.
No, the fuck they can't.
Yes, they can. How can't they? Why can't they? Why?
Okay, great.
I do have to say that the directors did say that the reason the Hulk turned out the way he is because, especially after Avengers, is because they had no idea what to do with him because he was too strong.
Okay, yeah, they did. Unfortunately, that is.
So they shit on him.
Nope. You gotta remember this. Here's something else.
They put him in his cousin movie to shit on him some more. Like, what the fuck? How much more shitting do the Hulk gotta take?
Reese, you also gotta remember
he
that.
He getting gamma shit now.
You said gambling?
He getting gamma shit on. He getting gamma shit. He getting green shit all over him.
Reese, may I please remind you of a fact that people always forget about the Hulk? Yes, he was a founding member of the Avengers, but he left not long into it, and he was never a member of the Avengers until the movie came out.
What do one thing got to do with the other? Please tell me what one thing got to do with the other. That don't got shit on him because he's not an Avenger. It don't make got shit on the boy because he's not an Avenger. They don't got to treat him like garbage because he's not an Avenger.
May I please?
Like, I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm trying to get to it.
Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Hi, Bianca.
I'm trying to get to it. I'm trying to say it's because...
Ladies, I'm sorry. Hold up, Rob. Hold up. Ladies, y'all got a point on here?
No. I'm enjoying this.
All right,
go ahead, Robert.
Go, Rob.
All right. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that the reason why they took him out is because he was too strong. Now, unfortunately, MCU is trying to constantly keep him in there because, again, they can't do a solo movie with him. So they have to have him appear in there. Unfortunately, he is too strong. And that was the reason why they, in the comics, they never kept him in there. All of those stories you mentioned is where Hulk is solo, where he is alone. Or he's the main title character of it. And that's the other thing you got to remember is, if whose name is in the title, you got to remember that.
Don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. Hawkeye's name is in his title. Like, who else name in their title? Thor's name is in his title. Like, what the fuck? What is you talking about naming they fucking Don't give me the bullshit. Don't beat me upside the head with bullshit, bro. Don't do it.
I'm not giving you bullshit. I'm stating facts.
Ain't a star been a star of his own show since, his own fucking movie and or show since Phase 4 started. Bottom line. What? Who said what? Speak again.
Hulk has never been a title in any of the movies except for the very first.
Because of Sony.
Because
Universal, isn't it?
Universal. All right.
Or Universal, duh.
Yeah, that is why. That is why Hulk has never. All the other characters have been.
So that means they got a shit on him?
No, they're not.
They got treating him like the fucking second class.
They're not shitting on him, but unfortunately they have, because you're going to have him alongside everyone else. You cannot have him be the strongest one and overshadow the person whose name is in the freaking title.
How are you double talking the shit on the Hulk thing? How are you double talking the shit on the Hulk, who's the strongest motherfucker there is, and he can't be the strongest?
In She-Hulk, from what we've seen, She-Hulk could not even throw the rock into the atmosphere. Hulk,
I don't give a fuck.
Their fight only stopped because they destroyed his bar.
How are we talking about the strongest shit? Look, I'm talking about they shitting on the Hulk. Who saved the Hulk? Who made the Hulk better? Who got the Hulk all better?
No one.
Who was it?
Himself.
What you mean nobody? It was her blood that made him all better, right? Now his arm all good again because of her blood, right?
First of all,
somehow, some way.
That is, first of all, he still figured it out on his own through his.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Get the fuck out of here! No, bro. No.
Dude,
Don't beat me
I know
upside
my
the head.
comics.
I
I know my
literally just said, don't beat me upside the head with bullshit.
I'm
That's
not.
bullshit. Don't do that. That's fucking horse shit. Oh, he figured it out. Don't
Quit acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. Quit acting like I don't know what I'm talking about, Reese.
Look, dog, you out your damn. Don't look. You want to kiss their ass? Don't. I don't understand what you're saying. That's horse shit. Oh, he had to figure it out. What the fuck are you talking about?
First of all, because you keep cutting me off. You don't let me finish. You don't even let me finish. You don't even let me finish, man. You keep cutting me off.
Ominous, have you seen Hawk yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness. We should probably talk about something that's not so feisty. How
But-
are you today, Ominous?
No, you said you
good.
wanted disagreements. You said you wanted disagreements. You got a feisty show going. Get on. Let's go.
That's
disagreeing
true.
right
That's
Reese
true.
Reese is right. What you need here
Yes,
is
thank
a
you.
moderator. Reese,
Okay,
go ahead,
Reese is
please.
correct about this one point. He is correct about the healing of the arm point. You gotta at least admit that.
Okay, I will admit. Look, first of all, can I say what I was going to say was because I kind of got cut off before I can summarize and explain what I meant. He stated clearly that first of all, her blood did not get into his. So obviously, after he stabbed her,
bullshit. You're trying to put a bow on bullshit, bro.
I'm trying. Can I not get cut off?
Reese, please. Wait a moment.
Got it.
Robert, explain your point, and then Reese will go.
Okay. What he flat out said was he looked over her blood, and blood is different. It's still similar because they're family. But he looked it over and noticed that there was something about her blood that was allowing him, yes, to fix it. But clearly he had to take her blood and put it into him. So that's a case where he had to figure out, hey, her blood can fix my arm.
That she's the better Hulk. Oh.
No, that's
he had to figure out that she was the better Hulk. Oh, yeah, okay, that's good.
No.
Now
I see your point. Now I see your point. She better blood, and he had to go figure it out.
Reese,
I get that. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, I get that.
No.
Reese, please, wait, Reese.
You want to be mad.
Robert. Keep explaining your point. Keep explaining your point.
That is an inference that isn't there.
Yeah, for one, he's still stronger than her. Okay. He's still able to do all the stuff better than her. The only thing she can do better is that she's more flexible because she's not as bulky as him. And the only reason why it's not even like she beat him in the fight. They stopped the fight because she destroyed his bar and she realized what they were doing.
ALB, if you listen to my cigarettes, please. And a duck.
That's the reason why the fight stopped. He's not that she beat him. It's that the fight just stopped. So we didn't even see who was the better Hulk because there was no final determination.
You dumbass. Okay, you're right. Yes. You fucker. It just stopped. Okay,
Reese.
Right. You're absolutely right. Okay.
Reese, you have to actually
I was laughing,
watch
my bad.
show
I couldn't hold
order
that
to
one
realize
in.
it.
That one was too funny. I'm sorry. That shit was too funny. Funny. I couldn't help but I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bust him up. Go ahead. Finish. That
was my point. That was my point, though, saying that we didn't even see how the fight ended because the fight just stopped because they destroyed the bar. It's not like he beat him and like, yeah, I'm better. It was just that. Oh, she.
It was a family fight. He wasn't going all out.
No, obvious. No. Oh, come on. How could you make that determination? You're not going to use the same amount of strength that you would on your cousin as compared to an alien invasion.
He sent her flying multiple times. She tried hitting him. It did nothing.
No, we whooped each other's ass. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because they want one Hulk and okay, let's be honest. This is the case where they're going with the funny thing is people are gonna say this is Professor Hulk. Technically, this isn't Professor Hulk. This is Banner Hulk from the 70s, where you had Hulk, just Banner's mind in there, and Hulk, and this is what the Hulk we had in Secret Wars and everything. This was the one where it's just Banner in control of Hulk's body, and that in that case he was always on the weaker side because he didn't have the anger, whereas Professor Hulk did. So in other words, we have a Hulk that is nerfed because they took his edge off.
Hello, Lord Nurgle. How are you?
I did not expect it to be so feisty today, but it's like, at least without Shaggy here.
I at least I can see what he means about the blood. That you could make an inference because her blood is different,
but I'm just
so it would have healed differently. But as far as the fighting, no, it clearly shows that Hawk is much stronger, and it shows that he wasn't.
He wasn't trying to speak her, and she just wanted to leave. It wasn't a face of like, let's fight to the death. It was more like a, let me out of here. No, you're staying down.
And even when they were talking about the blood, they were talking about she was teasing him, and she's like, as in better. He's like, no, just different.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Y'all so full of bullshit semantics. It's ridiculous. Y'all know what she's saying.
Wait, let Joe talk.
Just because she said it doesn't make it true.
Right.
It is true.
One question. Who here saw the series, saw the first 2 chapters of She-Hulk?
I have.
Me.
Okay,
Me.
Reese?
Reese?
Nurgle, have you seen the first 2 episodes?
I have not watched any of the episodes of it. I was a little turned off of it by all the clips I'd seen as well.
The clips
I
don't
just
do
was
it
not
justice.
excited. I was just, it's just not a show that excites me. That's all.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
But I will add this much because I was listening to this wonderful little screaming match because it's been exciting. Excuse my voice, I'm a little sick today.
No.
But I got to add one thing. I'm sorry, the MCU has done. If any 2 characters have had the most disservice done to them, it was the Hulk and Black Widow in the MCU. Those 2 characters have had nothing but crap thrown at them. I mean, don't get me wrong, the movies have been good. They've handled them slightly good, but they completely removed everything that makes the Hulk and interesting by allowing him to be the smart Hulk and all of that stuff. I do not care much for. Like, I didn't have a problem with what they did in Ragnarok with him, but I have to agree he's the most misused, mishandled character in the entirety of the MCU. I'm sorry, but it is.
And I will not look. I will not argue that part. I will say this. It's unfortunate. I still say blame Universal because they have not been able to chance to have a show or a movie starring Hulk where they could give him all the character growth and development that he deserved. So unfortunately, when you tack him on there, it's like I said, you got to make him weaker so he's not going to overshadow because he's a supporting character. He can't overshadow the person whose name is in the title of the movie he's in.
But hold on, I want to play devil advocate here. But I haven't seen all of Hawkeye, the show. Did they not do the same with Kate in that?
No, because even at the end, even though she helped Kingpin,
that's fair.
She still got her butt handed to her. Of course, everyone's saying she still won. It's like she got her ass talked. She didn't win it very cleanly.
She didn't win it very cleanly, but she won it, right? It
doesn't matter.
Not clean, but she won, right? She won, of course, right? Because she's the star. Because it's the Hawkeye of the show.
Robert,
she was the better Hawkeye. Just be like She-Hulk. Is the better She-Hulk. Bottom line, just look. Any girl to take over for somebody is the better version. Like, and it don't a suit don't fit into it for the girl now. I don't know why. And I personally think girls look better in these suits anyway. But I don't see why they got a dog the dudes that were on before. Like, that's my only real beef. I don't give a fuck what chick. I love chicks and skin shit. Like, that's my thing. I have no beef with that. The bride can't show up and just step into the role like she's the greatest ever and say, hey, I am the greatest ever. Like, hey, your arm is destroyed. Shut the fuck up in 2 minutes. I sat here quiet as fuck. Shut the fuck up. Hold on. Look.
Oh my gosh.
Reese. Relax.
Okay, deep breaths. Hold on, I have a question for everybody.
Well, I sat here quietly and listened to all that bullshit from everybody, and this motherfucker gonna cut me off mid-sentence again? Like, all right, it's cool. I'm gonna sit here quietly and listen to the bullshit. Go ahead, continue.
Joe, and welcome.
Oh, how do you do?
Okay.
An awkward place to join in, but it seems like I tried to get in several times.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, as far as my take on this, She-Hulk, as a whole, we just started the show, launched in. So it is, as far as the writing, is people are trying to chalk up She-Hulk as somebody who just picks up on it right away. But I'm pretty sure later on in the show, she might have to confront some shortcomings and have a superhero than I thought, and I might not be as prepared as I thought. So we don't know.
I think
literal beginnings of this is. Go ahead.
No. Bianca was saying the other day that this was supposed to be the actual 8th episode, the first one, and they switched it around so they could do the kind of origin first. So that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be one of those situations how she learns her lesson.
The thing is when it comes to shows,
jobs in the 2nd episode.
What's that, Bianca?
She lost her job?
Yeah. So she's already starting to see those consequences of her actions.
Well, the thing is when it comes to shows,
it's pretty much your thrust.
Oh, I'm sorry, but when it comes to TV series, this is another reason why I haven't watched it yet. Is when these shows come out, I can't just watch one episode and wait another week to watch the next. I got to be able to watch multiple episodes back to back to really gauge if the show is any good. I might watch it later on, but usually I wait till they all come out because there's just too much missing there, and everything I've seen from the clips and everything just don't interest me. And I think that that's another problem is people are judging the show a little quickly because they can't see the full context of where this story's honestly going.
Right. That's one thing I did like about how they did the other series, like WandaVision, and I believe even Moon Knight and some of the others, they drop like 3 episodes at a time.
Right.
So at least you got a general feel of what was going on and could gauge it a little bit better. I do wish they would have done the same for this, but I honestly am really enjoying it. I really am. I think it's good. Joe, I think you got a delay. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Okay. Well, I was gonna...
Well, alrighty then. I think Joe lost connection. I think...
In a disguise. You have to realize that because she saved the jury, they were going to be biased towards her. And she was going to job interviews. Nobody would hire her.
Exactly. That was exactly right okay, first, also, Chatter Factory, they're not going to have Mr. Sinister in the movies yet because it's an X-Men property, but unfortunately, they got to wait a couple more years before they can even recast the movies because of contracts and all that from Fox. So no, they're not going to have Mr. Sinister appear until they get the rest of the X-Men, and they don't have full access to all the X-Men, even though they own Fox still. They got to wait still because of other contracts.
I mean, Sinister is so cool.
Oh, Mr. Sinister is a good villain. But yeah, they can't use everything. They can't.
They're just going to piss everybody off and use Miss Sinister.
Yeah, but like you said, like Bianca was saying though, this whole thing about her getting fired, that was from the very first issue of Dan Slott's run. And then first of all, I'm not upset. Yeah. All right, but I'm just saying though is that the whole Dan Slott thing was basically trying to the whole point of it, because here's people got to remember when Dan Slott did it, it was because she had been She-Hulk, no Jen, for decades since Burns' run. And thus the whole point of it was to have it be that being She-Hulk, saving the day, actually would have real world consequences. And I'm hearing my echo on
Joe, you got an echo.
Okay, why do people think I'm upset? I'm not upset.
That's just Robert on a normal level.
The word is not upset. It's passionate.
Yeah, I'm passionate.
Right.
I am passionate about this stuff. Trust me. All right. It's just anyone remember my argument with Saggy a couple weeks ago?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Here for that.
I missed it.
Yeah. So,
3 weeks ago, something like that.
But
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
I-
I see. Yeah.
yeah, I
So
just
wait.
had-
I want to let
God
Joe
forbid
talk,
she
but
can't
then I
throw a
want to see
rock
what you guys.
correctly.
Then I want to see what you guys think of the whole Ezra situation with DC. But go ahead,
Oh,
Joe.
good God.
Maybe Joe will be able to talk. His poor connection.
Yo.
The letter won't even show.
Yeah.
No, it's like fucking nope.
He's
Not gonna
got to
work.
be using it. He's got to
Well,
be using a wet
in a
sock
disguise.
for its modem over there.
Yep. In a disguise, they did explain that in the second episode, Titania showed up because she was there for a traffic violation, and she just went off the handle randomly. So yeah, it was random out of nowhere, but yeah, it was done that way just because they needed to have an action at the end.
I like how they said that her lawyer said
the blood sugar
broke the wrong wall.
Oh no, it was just not Jackie. They said it was because of low blood sugar.
And low blood sugar.
Hey, low blood sugar will make you do some crazy things. I'm a diabetic. I can attest to that.
Yeah, but it was clearly they were using it as an excuse. Let's be honest.
I will not admit, I will not confirm nor deny that I may have used it as an excuse sometimes.
At least you didn't use the Roseanne Barr one, where she claimed that Ambien made her racist.
I remember that.
I don't know who this is. And they have no connection anyway.
Better soon.
Oh yeah, I'll be all right. It's just a regular old cold.
Who is this?
Hello, NATO. It looks like
NATO.
I don't know.
I don't trust that icon. I think that's supposed to be
Tits?
I think so.
NATO.
It does look like a pair of.
Hello?
It looks like
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's supposed to
be
look
working
like
again.
tits. Hello?
Oh, is it Shelby?
Yes, it's Shelby.
Hey, Shelby.
I don't know what's going on, so let me leave and come back.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Give me a second.
You're fine.
Everybody in their cars?
Yeah. He said he was at work. Joe, are you there?
Thank heavens. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you now, Joe.
And hey, Shelby,
That was a nightmare. I was very upset. You handed me like the microphone and asked me a question. I respond and you guys couldn't hear. It was really, really sad.
Well, go for it.
Go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
Well, to be honest, I don't remember exactly what I was going to say, but typically with Netflix, the business model, how it originally started is that they would promote the concept of binge watching, where they would release the whole season at one time, and that kind of changed with Stranger Things. So the problem with these Disney Plus properties is they get review bombed pretty early on before we have the full scope of what the show's about and how good it is. Because it's really hard to judge a product holistically if you only have a portion of that said product. So, essentially, there's a whole lot of drama as shows are ongoing, and then by the end, like maybe a year will go by, and then people look back at it differently. But during Obi-Wan, there was just little things here and there that people would nitpick, and a lot of people hated the show. I just having a good time vibing, watching lightsabers and crap that you see in Star Wars. But a lot of huge Star Wars fans were having problems calling Obi-Wan a coward or whatever with the way he was portrayed, saying the writing was horrible, it reflects the character poorly, and just complaint after complaint after complaint after complaint.
See, I didn't
and
get
we saw this with Miss Marvel as well too. But
Miss Marvel was a goat.
I didn't watch Ms.
I loved
Marvel. It was one of those shows that just didn't appeal to me. Now, my 12-year-old daughter, absolutely, that's all her. But
I'm not the target demographic either.
But
I get that.
Now, I only watched the first episode of the Obi-Wan show. I typically skip out on a lot of TV. The last thing I actually sat down and watched was Prey. But, excuse me. Now, I watched the first episode of Obi-Wan, and I listened to all the complaints, people saying, well, he's a coward, and he's hiding for no... I'm like, you guys do understand, like, going off of that one episode and a lot of the scenes that I see where people were saying he was being a coward, I was like, okay, because he knows damn well that there's people actively hunting him. And if he puts himself out there, he's going to die. He's not immortal. He's not the most powerful guy that can withstand everything. The dude has to keep hiding. I understood that. Granted, I'm not going to say it was the best writing in the world. I'm not going to say it was great. I only watched one episode because my son begged me to watch some of it with him. But I was like, okay, why are people talking about that he's a coward? He's literally protecting himself because he's got no other choice. It's either suicide or keep hiding. Just saying, hey, like when that one guy, the one Jedi that was running in the beginning of the show, and he's like, no, you need to just go. You need to give that life up, and you need to go. And he's like, well, why aren't you helping me? Because I can't. Well, yeah, he can't. They hunt his ass down. He's got a couple. It's like 3 Siths coming after him. You think he can take on 3 Siths at one freaking time?
Exactly. Can I say this quickly? Fabio, I just saw your comment. Joe is the reason why we keep getting bad Star Wars and bad Marvel. Okay, seriously? I'm sorry. That reminds me of the time when I was told, because I separate artists from artists, being told, you are what's part of the problem here. I cannot believe when people say, how dare you enjoy your part of the problem. People are allowed to enjoy stuff that you don't like. You should accept that. Quit trying to chastise people for liking stuff that you don't like. Because how does that make you any different from SJWs who chastise you for liking things? How does that make you any different? Oh, do you feel because it was done to you, you should do it to others? Why? Why should you have to be exactly like those other people?
That's the exact reason why I was attacked by the whole anti-SJW community all the way back when Mortal Kombat 11 came out. Because all the little whinies and the crybabies were complaining about the costumes. I'm like, look, I get where you're coming at. I understand. But who the fuck are you to tell them they have to change their costume designs when you complain about other companies changing their designs due to SJW outrage?
Exactly.
Practice what you fucking preach, you know?
It's like fans' mentality, I think.
It's the entitled fan. It's the entitled fan mentality. And wait,
like the one they were saying they were bullied because they didn't get Melina on.
Can you guys answer me this? You just said his enjoyment affects my enjoyment. What?
His enjoyment doesn't affect a goddamn thing of your enjoyment, Fabio. That's something I cannot fucking stand. Now, I am the biggest. You can ask Nerdette. I'm one of the biggest anti-SJW motherfuckers you'll ever talk to. I'm sorry if I'm cussing so much. I'm one of the biggest anti-SJW fools out there. I had to reel myself back after the Mortal Kombat 11 thing. Look, if you like something, fucking like it. If you don't like something, don't fucking watch it. Don't give a shit. This is the biggest problem with that community and folks like yourself. You can't just let shit be. You can't just let shit be alone and leave it be. You have to fuck with everybody. You have to be an asshole to everybody. And then guess what happens? You get 50 billion articles bitching and complaining about people like your ass, making the entire community look bad because you can't shut the fuck up and just vote with your fucking view and your wallet and do what the fuck you want. Who gives a shit? So what? Lord of the Rings, if you think it looks like woke garbage, then don't fucking watch it.
Yes.
No amount of you not watching it is going to affect my enjoyment if I decide to fucking watch it. And for the record, I ain't fucking watching that shit. But if anybody in this room wants to watch that shit, they ain't fucking up anything for you. If you don't like something, vote with your wallet and walk the fuck away and shut the fuck up.
Exactly. And I will just say this.
Great advice.
I need a drink.
I mean, Lightyear kind of bombed, so.
I was gonna say,
I don't smoke anymore. I need a cigarette.
Lightyear bombed, but so does all those movies. Look at Super Pets. That didn't do very well either. It's just,
and yet it was good.
Not in the market right now.
A lot of people cried and whined about Super Pets, and I was like, it's a fucking kids show. It's obviously for kids.
They did the same
I don't
to
think
Lightyear.
it was supposed to be for hardcore comic book fans here, okay?
Didn't the new Despicable Me or whatever do pretty good?
Oh yeah, I did really
but
good.
that's a long-standing franchise. But the other thing is, much like Lightyear, you have a gay couple in there for 2 seconds. Woo!
Yeah, it was a whole
the thing about
debacle.
and that's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I've been talking
I was
a
gonna
lot.
say, And I've talked about the Lightyear thing. I made a video about it myself, and I've talked about it in length in one of my streams. And I'll just go ahead and say it like this. There was a lot of things that screwed over Lightyear, and it wasn't just the gay kiss. One, the gay kiss kind of did do it because the media wouldn't shut the fuck up about that damn thing. They made it seem like it was a huge, large portion of that movie. Granted, majority of us already knew it wasn't, but they kept making it out like it was like this big, grandiose thing. And so you had two sides complaining, being really loud about it. That's going to set off your average viewer in many, many ways. And then you have the confusion of, we don't know what this fucking movie's about. Is it a Toy Story movie? Is it not a Toy Story movie? That was confusing to general audience as well. And then you have the Tim Allen thing. You replace the actor that everyone knows as Lightyear. So it wasn't the fact that it was even bad. Like, my kid watched it. Everybody I know that's watching said it was actually a pretty good movie. I haven't sat down to watch it, but from what I've understood was the big hubbub about the kiss was, oh, it was blink and you miss it. But for some reason, nobody would shut the fuck up about that one goddamn kiss. And that's going to affect audiences, especially movie-going audiences, on whether or not they take their children to see this or not. You gotta imagine there's going to be people that aren't going to want to go see it that are going to do that. It's unfortunate, but the marketing and a lot of other things really worked against that movie. It also doesn't help Chris Evans telling everybody they're the wrong kind of people and all that shit.
Yeah, stuff like that does not help. I agree.
Somebody needs to rein in their cast members and tell them.
It doesn't help, but how is he wrong? That is a dinosaur way of thinking, to think that a gay kiss can ruin a whole movie.
Okay, well, my issue with it is
go ahead, man. Sorry, go ahead.
My issue with it is the Walt Disney Corporation doesn't really care. I think it comes across as virtue signaling, because they were more than fine with shooting in a Chinese province for Mulan that had concentration camps, which is extremely, like, bending the knee to China is just not good. And it really shows you don't care about humanitarian efforts. It's one issue with the Spider-Man controversy with the child's grave. They wouldn't let these grieving parents put Spider-Man on the gravestone simply because they felt it reflected the Spider-Man brand badly.
Like, right, and of course Disney doesn't care. Disney cares about their bottom dollar the most, but the people that made that product might care. The people that are gay might care. So what is the big deal? What nobody would have cared if it was a straight kiss. I'm sorry.
Let me interject. Allow me to interject real quick, Nerdette. The thing is it's not the fact. Okay, yes, that's a very dinosaur way of thinking. I fully agree with you.
I agree with that as well.
Current day, you should be down with that shit and not even have a problem with it now. Here's the thing. Once again, you have a member of the cast alienating half the audience again, coming out saying, basically attacking the audience again. And we see this how many times from other comic creators and other cast members of other shows and movies and things constantly. Once again, you have somebody that can't just shut the fuck up and promote the movie. You can't just come out and say, you know what? I understand there's some of you that don't like it, but give it a shot. You may like it. Instead, it's, well, you're just the wrong kind of people, and I don't want your audience. Well, that's not the way you promote a fucking product.
Well, when they do these things, the studio pats themselves on the back.
Yeah, well, and that's and then the studios, that's the other thing. The studios just let themselves sabotage themselves. They don't say, hey, yo, Chris Evans, you need to shut the fuck up. No, they just go, good job, Chris. Good job. Good way to stick it to the man. Oh, and look, well, your movie fucking flopped. Maybe you shouldn't have made such a big deal about it. Maybe when you were asked a question about the gay kiss, you should have just said, yeah, I understand there's some people that aren't going to agree with it, but there's a lot more in the movie for a lot more fun for the whole family instead of just that. That's what you can do. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I know I bring this back to Mortal Kombat 11, but it's the same thing when there was the interviews about the costumes on that. You had one that was like, we're not going to have the bikini fighters. We're going to be realistic. And then there's Ed Boon. Well, the technology's advanced. We really wanted to see what we can do with texturing and seeing what we can do with the detail on these character models. Which one of those sells the audiences? Which the other one turns off parts of the audience? That's the point that I get at with it. I don't care that I understand the dinosaur way of thinking. I understand the whole bigot thing. I get it. But you are selling a product, and people are going to relate you with that product because you are in it. And when you tell
shut up and look pretty.
Shut up. In that situation, you should. You should.
I don't know. I
Because
don't think
you are
we should have to
promoting that
censor what
product.
we're saying. I understand that, but it's also very similar to what I don't even remember what her name was. Shut up and dribble. You know, like if he's asked the question, he should answer it. Why should he have to censor himself?
But there is
Because
a difference between
there's such a thing.
There is a difference between answering the question and antagonizing your customers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There is a
true.
way. There's a method when it comes to. There's a thing in this world we call professionalism, and when professionalism means you are tactful with your words. You can fully tell these people to shut the fuck up, but you do it in a tactful manner. Like I said,
Gotcha.
It's like saying, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Well, I understand there's people that disagree with it, but we still got a lot more in there for the family. Doesn't that sound better than, well, you're just a wrong dinosaur people and your way of thinking is over? Well, that's antagonistic. Stop antagonizing your audience. Start inviting them.
Antagonizing them makes them more bigoted too.
Well, here's the thing. If you want these people to change their way of thinking to begin with, you're not going to do it by bastardizing them. You're going to do it by calmly killing with kindness. Because when little Johnny says, I want to go see the movie so bad, and he's bugging Mama, who's very anti-LGBT, she'll eventually give in. Why? Because maybe she saw Chris Evans and said, hey, we got a lot more in there for kids instead of just that one little scene. But no, it's, well, you're just a piece of shit. Well, that doesn't work.
And I agree with that. I do agree with what you're saying there. I do think, and unfortunately, we've reached this point, though, and it's something that I've been pointing out before, where you have the two extremes are pushing at it, and unfortunately act like they're the dominant pushing people in the conversation. So you're going to have people who don't know about it, who come about that and start treating like they represent the majority. Like you have the idiots, the people who are saying all that stuff, and Crip Evidence is talking to them, but then but it's coming off like he's talking to everyone else. Just like when you keep on having that, it's like, and I just saw someone in the chat saying, well, why did they even put it in there in the first place? It's a background shot. Yes, I do feel Disney should not glorify it. I am so tired of Disney glorifying it over. This is a case of tokenization, where they put token gay people in there just to say, look, there they are. They're not important.
Like the new just stabled like Spider-Man or whatever it is, or the Spider-Woman that they did. It just looked, it's just like, what, really?
Yeah. Sorry. No, I was every time. Yeah, I'm not really gonna be part of this conversation because I don't really care for that. But every time that I hear someone say that it's glorified, it reminds me of when Spider-Man Far From Home came out. I remember there were articles saying that this movie is gonna feature the first trans character in the MCU, and turns out that character, that actor, is trans. Yeah, but they literally didn't even talk in the movie. They were only in the background. I think
they did the same thing with Endgame also.
Yeah.
There was a gay couple.
Overhype the marketing, exactly. And they
I want Shelby, tell are you able to I tell people about what you emailed me the other day, which was totally cool?
Yeah, but I don't know if that, because that's like changing the topic entirely. I don't know if
I don't care. It's so fucking cool.
Change.
Yeah, let's talk about the boys.
Oh, I love the boys.
Jeffrey
Dean Morgan.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna dox myself, but basically I live in the big city, like the big city. And the other day I went out on a walk, and holy shit, I'm checking my phone. I see Tristan's post about Jeffrey D. Morgan is joining the boys. And that same day, I come across they're shooting The Walking Dead in the city, and I'm standing there, basically with like a bag of burgers in my hand, and I see him. I see Jeffrey D. Morgan. He's there in the full like getup, in the full Negan getup, and I shouted Negan. I didn't want to shout too loud. I didn't want people to think I was saying the N word, but I shouted, and he saw me back, and he waved. No, I don't know. That's like a really cool coincidence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
It's so
yeah,
cool.
so I was, and I sent Tristan some photos that I took because there was security and there was a guy saying you can't take photos because I think it's a spin-off that they're working on because there was also the actor for Maggie. But yeah, I sent Tristan some photos that I could take, and I was talking to her what character will he play because I don't really see any characters that would fit him. She said like maybe Techno, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if that fits him. Like in Technight in the comics, he was kind of like a weirdo.
But you got to remember, The Boys is very much so not against race swapping or gender swapping. So it could be anyone. Like I don't know specifically who they're looking for, but all I care is that he's in the show. Like that is, I still want to see him in a DC property, but this is a close second.
Look, having
isn't he
Jensen
Ackles doesn't he play Deathstroke? I thought Jeffrey D. Morgan plays Deathstroke.
No,
or is that
no,
that's
he was the comedian.
He was the comedian, but you're thinking of what's that guy? It was the guy from True Blood. He played Deathstroke, but he never really got.
Yeah, but they were both in one movie, and I confused them.
I remember him in the Pee Wee Netflix movie.
Oh my gosh!
Wait! I remember him. That's Sofia Vergara's husband. That's.
He was a werewolf, and
he was also
True Blood. That's
he was
what
also
I remember.
in the Magic Mike movie, one of the Magic Mike movies.
Joe
Manganiello.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ominous.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know how you could say that last name.
Yeah, I know. He was one of the reasons my wife watched True Blood.
True Blood was awesome.
I think he's probably, I don't know if this like confirmed, but I think he would play what's the name of the guy who's in charge of the G-Men?
Oh, Mallory?
John something.
Yeah.
No, that's the guy in charge of the boys. It's that guy. He basically like sexually abused all those kids with the powers. He's basically like Professor X, but for the boys. That's the only guy that I think he could play. I think he would play a really good Agent Mallory, but there's already a female version.
John Gokulglen or whatever his name was.
See, I never read
Everyone's
the comic
like,
books
I know.
for the boys. I only watched the show. But the things I've seen on the comics is that the show is actually one of those shows that improved upon what the comic books had.
100%.
And done better than what the comic books were doing.
No argument there. It's just like,
I love what they did with Stormfront. I remember, I
I
lot of
think
people
you're breaking up.
Yeah, this thing keeps crashing. I might have to just call it quits.
Sorry. I'm sorry. No, you're fine.
It doesn't like the Restream Studio. Typically, I use StreamYards or whatever. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
As far as the boys goes, I don't know who he's gonna play. I'm glad to see him aboard because besides like Sandman is a different type of fun. This is probably one of the best superhero shows like ever. I don't know if it's just its realism or it's, kind of political take and satire and the way it pokes jabs. It's its
ability to be a political satire but not beat you in the face with a shovel with its message and still tell you a good engaging story.
Good
like
satire.
I don't
get all the references. You get where they're going, like the girls get it done thing.
All I heard was beat you in the face with a shovel. What's going on?
That was
I don't consider the boys like
guys.
The thing is that I like the boys, but the thing is that I find it weird that they like it's a criticism of the corporation, like how something like superheroes is corporatized, right? That's like the whole thing.
Right.
It's basically
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
parody of Disney. But then you have actors in the show that go on to work for Disney, like. But the actor of Butch, he was in the MCU, so it's like I don't know if you're getting it. That's the thing.
Well, it's
Well,
great.
Like it's supposed to be
Some of
awesome.
media conglomerates, like,
Well, like,
yeah, Disney would be
Yeah,
very good.
and I get it. Actors have to work, but it's weird to see like Seth Rogers or whatever his name is, the funny laugh man, being in the show making fun of the MCU, but then he goes on to work for the MCU and for Disney and all that.
It's a paycheck.
That's
They're actors. That's
yeah,
what they do.
I know. It's just kind of funny. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Someone's got some feedback going on.
That
I
might
think
be
that's
me.
you,
Yeah,
Joseph.
but that's the thing because in the comics, Soldier Boy was like a fucking wimp. He was a joke, but in the show, he was like a badass. He was like they turned that character around. So I don't know who they're gonna. Maybe they're gonna introduce Tech Knight as Jeffrey D. Morgan. And he's gonna be like a legit character.
They
Because
completely changed
in the comics,
well, they completely changed
Yeah.
to what's his name? The Night guy. What was his
Tech
name?
Knight, of course.
Black Noir.
Black Noir.
Yeah, Black Noir. I don't know why I said the Night guy, but they completely changed his character. Like he was like in the comic, he was like a clone of Homelander, and he was the one that kills Homelander.
He
And
is
they
a clone.
completely changed
Oh
it,
yeah.
but they made him a much better character from what I've understood out of it.
They did him dirty. Let's be real here.
Wait,
His,
Tristan.
he finally gets an
have.
origin. Go ahead.
And then he dies. No, but I was because I remember that you said it that now that he's basically gone and there is no like Homelander clone, what's gonna happen? I was thinking instead of it's gonna be like at the end of the comic, okay, for whoever cares about spoilers at this point, at the end of the comic, Homelander and basically Homelander's clone Black Noir, they kill each other. Yeah.
Hmm?
So I was thinking instead of that happening because there is no clone, what we're gonna get is Ryan, his son, fighting Homelander.
Yes.
He basically has the power.
Either that or Billy Butcher's
And you know what
gonna
I think
take
is gonna
the
happen?
Compound V.
I think Butch instead of killing in the comics he kills Black Noir because he's the evil one. In the other clone he was like not that evil. I think Butch is gonna go so far over his hatred that he's gonna kill Ryan. That's what I think is gonna happen. Ryan's gonna kill Homelander, and then either Ryan's gonna be like super on power, or Butch is gonna be like, now I just have to kill you, and he's gone. That's what I think is gonna happen.
You really think they're gonna go that far to having him fight that little kid?
Yeah, I think so.
But maybe it's gonna be a time skip. Maybe it's gonna be a time skip, but I think that because they don't have I think that the ending is not gonna be 1-to-1, but it's probably gonna mirror the whole thing.
Well, granted, he could even have we don't know like the full extent of his powers. He could even have a accelerated growth rate because of him having the powers of Homelander. We don't even know how long Homelander was a child when he was little too.
Right.
I think what's gonna happen because the show is not following the comic at all. It's following it very loosely. I think they're gonna try to adapt.
Your
I think they're gonna.
really loud.
Okay, hold up.
I think they're
I'm
gonna
just
try
back
to
out.
adapt. Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I was just telling him his feedback
Oh.
was.
I thought it was me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, what I think they're gonna do for the show, they're gonna try to adapt Dear Betty. It was that, right? The one that came after
recent one.
like a lot of time. Yeah, they're gonna try to adapt that into the show so they can do like a time skip, so they can have like an older Ryan, another actor, of course, but so they can have like a showdown between, because I think that's what like fans want to see, like Homelander get beat, right? But it's kind of hard to do it in the show unless they're just gonna have like Butcher like takes another pill or whatever and just lasers him to that. I don't know.
All I know is they don't need to go beyond the season 4 because I think after season 4 that it's going to start really degrading from there.
And I think the same for Umbrella Academy. I've seen that they're finishing up at season 4, and I think that's smart. They've got a really good product on their hands. Let it stand at where it's at. Maybe I don't think the Umbrella Academy will, but I know, at least I think I remember hearing they were doing a spin-off of The Boys. So if they're gonna do that and go further, then fine. But yeah, I think 4 seasons is enough. But
I think it's gonna be 4 seasons and a movie.
Speaking of Umbrella Academy,
yeah, 4 seasons and a movie. That's a rule.
Now,
4 seasons and a movie.
Speaking of Umbrella Academy, now I've only watched a few episodes of that, and what I have watched I thought was good. But someone posted something on my Discord. I don't know how much truth is behind it, but I guess the creator of Umbrella Academy is doing the adaptation for the Horizon Zero Dawn show that Netflix is doing.
Gerard
Way. Know that game?
Gerard Way?
Yeah, I've played it. I didn't like the sequel.
The guy who adapted. Wait, are you talking about the creator of the comic or the showrunner of the show?
It just says
you
Umbrella Academy creator to adapt Horizon Zero Dawn. That's all I got.
I can see that being good.
Did you know that him and Joe Rogan are like related?
Gerard Way?
Yeah, and Joe Rogan, they're both related.
Oh no!
I had no idea.
The showrunner.
Yeah, neither than him. Yeah.
Sorry.
I could see that being good. Umbrella Academy is really, very much so underrated. It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about underrated, I saw Sandman. The thing is that
Super chat.
It's super chat.
Yep, hold on 1 second. Joe, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Thanks for the conversation, guys. I tried both my Android and my iPad, and my web app kept crashing. Gerard Way is awesome. I knew him from My Chemical Romance. I know, it's so cool that he actually, if you look into his backstory, his origin, so to speak, he actually wanted to do comics first, and music was the side hustle, which is kind of not what I expected, but yeah, he is awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. I'm sorry it wasn't working so well, but it was nice having you.
Yeah.
What I know from his story is that I think that he was doing music on the side, right? And then he was in New York when 9/11 happened, and then he decided to pursue art or something like that.
That could very well be.
No, I remember. I heard in a video that he actually was working for Cartoon Network. He was pitching a show, and I think it was called Breakfast Monkey or something like that. And then 9/11 happened, and he was like, I want to turn my life around. Or something like that. I think that's. But anyway, Sandman. I watched it, and it's
What'd you think?
It's good. It's good. It's good, but holy fuck, those last 3 or 2 episodes, I was bored. I would say just the last 2 episodes, not even that, one episode and the other half, because I feel like it was only set up and we got very few payoff. And I get it, because the story, I'm not really familiar with the comic, okay? I know that's Tristan's whole field, but I do know some stuff, and I get it that it's a whole saga of things. But I don't know, I just didn't like those last episodes. And the thing is that the way that I watch stuff is that I was actually watching the 4th episode of The Boys, season 3, and then I just paused it, and for some reason I started watching Sandman. And then I finished the whole series, and then I went back to watching the rest of that episode. So
that is the wrong way to go. But yeah, hold on 1 second. Reminds me of the Herogasm wasn't as crazy as you said it would be. I was fine. Yeah, because it was not Herogasm. They tried to call it Herogasm. They pumped everybody up about Herogasm, and then it was just a little bit of an orgy. I will never look at sneezing the same again. I'm not gonna lie. I will never look at sneezing.
I don't think any of us will look at sneezing the same ever.
Oh my God. It was really fun talking to you. Good Saturday show. Yeah, where'd you go, Reese? Did you lose connection? Thank you so much, Bianca. Thank you so much, Reese. I feel bad. I hope you didn't lose connection or rage quit. But
can I say something
it was nice.
Can I just say something I realized would make a great Since Marvel now does have the X-Men.
Hello.
You know what I think would be a great property for them to adapt as a Netflix show? Hey, Davia, give me
background noise, Tavia.
What you know what I think would make a great thing for them to adapt as a Netflix show or streaming show that would work? Hold on, let me grab it. Because it was designed to be that way. Ecstatics.
I've never read Ecstatics.
It's basically Marvel, the Mutants if they were reality show stars.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one.
That would make a great TV show, like or a streaming show. Taking this concept and making it like it's a reality show.
Didn't I get it?
Yeah, you did get the super chat.
I got it, Hominus. What I want to say real quick about there's an echo. Is it okay? What I want to say real quick to Shelby is yeah, I kind of get what you mean about the last 2 episodes, but the way they did it so well with including the I mean, there was a lot of the scenes that were 1-for-1 shots, but they made enough of a twist to where even somebody like me knowing that book inside and out was still a little surprised. I do think I wish they would have held off on the reveal that Rose was a oh my gosh,
a vortex.
A vortex. I wish they would have held off on that just a little bit because I thought that was a good twist in the comics because I didn't know, it was kind of revealed a little bit later. But they did add more stuff with Corinthian and stuff like that. It feels very weird. Corinthian in the comics to me was always scary and stuff, and now it's very weird to me. Corinthian's kind of hot. Why? He's charismatic and I kind of like him now. It wasn't like that before. Hi, Tavia.
Hey, Tristan. Yeah.
The one thing.
Good. I'm doing good. Like I said, I can't stay long and watch the same with my family right now, but the show's been really good.
You're enjoying it so far?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's so good. I'm glad people are watching it and taking the time to enjoy it because that means the more viewers, the more likely a second season, and I need a second season.
I'm gonna. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, it's we all interrupt ourselves, but the thing is that I was watching it with someone else, and by the end of the whole thing, because I usually watch it all in a single night, and I liked it. The last 2 episodes kind of sucked, but I turn around to my sister, and she says, "I don't get it." She just told me, I told her, do you like? Because she's not into a lot of things that are comics and all that stuff. But I told her, oh, that's really cool, and it's into the DC universe and all that stuff, and it's it actually has to do with Lucifer and all that stuff. And she was like, I don't get it. I don't understand what I just don't get it. That's the thing. So it's I don't know.
Just wait till they bring in Orpheus and God and Thor and everything else. It gets even more confusing. Yeah. Sandman's one of those things you have to revisit, and I think they did a lot of those. They did Dream Country in the middle to kind of, or at least after that arc, to kind of give you a breather. And then they released those as, oh my God, as a bonus episode, which was, to me, it's unheard of to release a bonus episode. And then I watched it, and in 5 minutes, I'm in fucking tears, just bawling my eyes out no, the baby kitties.
See, I'm going to have to watch this show now because I've been confused. Everybody keeps talking about it, and I'm I've never read the comic books. And every time I hear people talk about the show, I'm I am totally confused of what the hell this show's about.
Same.
Are you a fan of have you read American Gods or any of other Neil's work, Good Omens, anything like that?
The only thing I am familiar with Neil Gaiman is Coraline.
That's
Coraline
fair.
is a classic.
And the little
Yeah, I
girl is
understand that.
hiding in the corner there, thinking that I don't see her. Is scared to death of Coraline.
And
You know what?
Aw.
I'm gonna predict right now. I'm gonna say this, and I know that Tristan is not gonna like this, but I predict that it's gonna get canceled. Not
How
because
dare
it's a
you.
bad show. I think it's a really good show, but I think it's gonna get canceled. I don't know
Good,
why, but
good.
I feel like the
Reasonably.
way that
It's gonna
I
get.
feel that I don't know. I feel like they're canceling a lot of good shows, even in Netflix. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like
why The Last
Archive
Man?
84 was really good, and it
Well,
got canceled. So
I
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like with the WB thing, you know, they're canceling everything they can to make up for all that debt that you know, Zaslav inherited, and then Netflix, they've had so many issues with money too. They ain't been able to keep things going because of that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sandman gets canceled. They already canceled Resident Evil, which no loss.
Yeah,
there.
but that's the thing, because they haven't. Okay, I don't want it to be canceled. I would like a second season, but I feel like it's possible that it would be canceled, and I don't think I would be surprised. But at the same time, they haven't renewed other shows that people like All of Us Are Dead, Hellbound. Those are kind of like Korean dramas that are really good.
Yeah.
All of those got into Netflix, but they haven't announced a second season, even though people like it. The only thing that they have announced is Squid Game 2.
Yeah,
and like that's it.
The Universe Revelations too.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
know,
angry that I'll
about-
never get a resolution to Raised by Wolves. That's all I'm upset
Yeah,
Hey, we
you
go,
get it?
guys.
Let Tavy. I think he's got to go.
Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt the conversation, but I gotta go. Me and my family went to watch Negative with Sandman. I'll hopefully maybe join you guys at the hopefully at the after the next episode you guys go on.
Okay, are you gonna do a review of it?
Yeah, I'll probably review it in the future. When we finish it. I mean, I gotta go. See you guys.
Okay, thanks,
Okay,
Tavia. Bye.
I'll join the live. Join you guys later. Yeah.
Bye, Tavia.
Robert, about He-Man getting a second season. I don't, because I know some stuff about like the process of making cartoons, because I have a lot of people in the circle, and what I know is that basically when a cartoon, like a cartoon that's that big, even if it's animation, there's already, doesn't matter if it's gonna fail or not, or it succeed, it usually already has a second season plan. So in my mind, it's like He-Man is probably getting a second season because they were already planning for it, and Hasbro, it's financially all that. But for other shows that people like Sandman and All of Us Are Dead, those really don't. I don't really see anyone backing those, even though people like them.
And it's very expensive. Very expensive.
The question
that's
you
the
gotta
thing.
ask is, does Netflix even have the money to move on with it, with all the problems they've had with debt and financial issues already?
Like right now, the only thing that they're focusing, I think, would be Squid Game and Stranger Things, because Squid Game was like a phenomenon. It was like crazy popular, right?
Well,
But at the
Stranger
same
Things is over with now, isn't it? Like, they just
people
did
don't
the
really
last
care about it.
season.
Stranger Things has one more season.
Yeah, and I think they either want to put all of their eggs into that basket of Stranger Things and milk it for everything that it's worth, or
They should, because it's
I
phenomenal.
don't see. Yeah, because other than that, like Sweet Tooth, it's not getting a second season that we know. It didn't get canceled, but it's kind of in limbo.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah,
It's
it is.
announced?
Yeah, it's already been
I
announced.
don't know what kind of people want it. Okay, I don't really know the audience, so I'm not even gonna say anything about it.
My wife,
but that's the
watched
thing,
Sweet
because
Tooth, and she liked that. I don't know
yeah,
what
so
They Disneyfied it. They Disneyfied
my
it.
my prediction is that Sandman is not gonna get a second season, even though I would really want that one. But it's like, it looks too expensive. Okay, it looks really good.
It is. The
It
thing
reminds me
is
of Swamp Thing.
I really wanted to also, but the more time passes, the more I think you're right. Because a lot of the times when those shows are big hits, it's within a very little amount of time that you hear an announcement. And right now it's been
a week.
3 weeks? 3 weeks since
3
it was
weeks?
originally. Yeah.
Being that it's a DC property, Netflix may not continue it, but then WB could even pick up on it if they want to run
something
with
that
it.
Gaiman said. Gaiman said that.
Because right now there's like this whole shift in like streaming sites, because I think that streaming sites like hit the top at the peak of the pandemic, and then every single studio saw that, and they were like, oh, we want to jump into that boat, we want to get one piece of that cake. So they started to put out Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, all that shit. And now that things are dying down and no one really cares for streaming sites, now they're being like, oh fuck, we put everything into this, and now we're gonna have to so that's why I think, like, we saw that the Kid Crusader stuff. They said that it was canceled, but no, now it's being like passed around.
Option.
And that's like let's say that's like doing your homework and giving it to someone else for exchange of half of an egg sandwich. It's not much. If a Batman property is not going to HBO, a site, that's like, what are you doing? It doesn't make sense. Batman is supposed to be your trophy. You're supposed to shine it. It's supposed to be your thing. You're not doing that. You're basically making stuff and being like, who wants this? Who can give us $1 million? Netflix, Hulu, I don't care. Anyone take it. That's the thing. And it's kind of sad, honestly, because not only that one, I was actually kind of excited for that one.
I don't care where it goes. I just want to see it. I just want to see what it is or what they've done with it. What is in your background, Shelby? Holy shit. You got like opera singers back there?
Yeah, it's they're starting a party around here. I'm basically going to have to go.
Something.
But I wanted to say one more thing before I go about She-Hulk, because I'm not really watching it. But what I think is going to happen in the show, and I told Bianca this, I predict that the show is going to be like this. At the beginning, She-Hulk is going to try to do something that the Hulk did, and she can't do it because she's not as strong as him or whatever. And by the end of the show, like by the last episode, she's going to be able to do it. And in this case, I think is that she couldn't launch the boulder far enough. At the end of the show, I bet it's going to be like, oh, we have to launch this gamma bomb to the stratosphere. Who can do it? Oh, She-Hulk, but I can't. I'm not strong as him. And she's going to be like, I can do it. Pow! I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know.
May I say what I think is going to happen? I think they're going to build up. She's going to become more and more of a. Could you mute her and Shelby for a moment? Sorry.
Yeah, that's Rancheros.
There we go.
Yeah, I think they're going to build up her celebrity. I think she's going to become a big name. She's going to let the fame get to her head, and basically once that happens, then she's going to have another downfall. She's going to screw up big time. She's going to make a big mistake, and then by the end of it all, then she's going to realize what Bruce had been trying to tell her, which was, you need to have a responsibility. You need to be a hero. You need to do all that stuff. And I think that's what they're going for. I think they're going for what they're taking what Bruce said and proved that he was right and she was wrong.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's gonna be. I don't think they can make it too complicated, because at the end of the day, it's just an MCU show. It's basically for normies. Yeah. But I definitely think it's gonna be something as simple as, oh, she launches a boulder to the stratosphere, just like Hulk.
But they didn't emphasize that much during that train sequence. Normally it would be but it would have to be something they emphasize. That just was a moment that just happened. They haven't brought attention to it, so I don't think they're going to bring it up.
It's basically show don't tell. It's basically, who's not gonna remember? Oh, she couldn't.
That's too subtle.
No, I don't know. I just think it's gonna be something like that.
That's just my opinion. You're free to have your opinion.
I definitely think it's gonna something.
It's too soon to tell what is going to happen. It's just 2 episodes.
I watched the first episode. And I actually wanna like She-Hulk because she is I like She-Hulk. That's the thing. But I don't know. Maybe if it gets interesting, because that's the thing. I didn't drop it. I haven't watched the second episode, and it's not because it's woke or it's female. I just kind of got bored for it. So maybe if it gets, because I'm excited to see like apparently there's gonna be a bunch of other characters in Daredevil, and so maybe I'm gonna jump back by that episode. But until then, it's like I'm not really like on like super hyped for it. That's the thing.
That's fair.
So yeah.
I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. I said it myself. I just want to wait for more of the show, the series to come out before I sit down and watch any of it.
Exactly. I think more people need to do that. And unfortunately, here's something else I've noticed we've reached the point where you have a lot of YouTubers who are going in saying, "Oh, I like it," but in actuality, they're all like, "Okay, where's there something woke? Where's there anything woke I can complain about?" And as soon as they get it, they say, "I never liked this show. This show sucks," and they start doing way more videos bashing it than they ever did praising
it. It's extremely profitable on YouTube to do that.
It is.
That's okay. That's something like.
Holy shit, Shelby!
Shelby,
Are you snoring something?
I'm basically with a very big blanket over my head because I don't know why they decide to start music right now. I live in a very Latino neighborhood, so I'm basically gonna go about it. I hope Sandman gets a second season, but I'm not really holding my breath. Anyway, yeah.
Thanks,
bye guys.
Shelby.
See you.
Bye, Shelby.
Take care.
Bye.
You were about to say, Nurgle?
Well, I was going to
go
say
ahead.
that's one of the things that I mean, and you'll probably Nerdette will probably, because I know she was surprised when she saw me start making videos again. One of the problems I've had, and one of the reasons why I slowed down a lot of the activity on my channel is not because I made my secondary channel about horror and stuff, but because I got so tired of this constant symbiotic relationship between the media and YouTubers, because it was like, I'm going to use Kotaku as an example. Kotaku would put out a stupid review like that PlayStation 5 review where they spent time complaining and whining about Trump and whatever in the PS5 review. And then every YouTuber would make a video about it, and then Kotaku would get clicks because every YouTuber's making a video about it. Because every YouTuber's getting clicks from every one of those. It's like somebody's got to break that cycle eventually. And I'm a little guilty of it myself. Because I know one of my recent videos, I did something about the character Quiet. Because I thought it was a stupid thing that was going on with it. But be quiet, little one. Sorry. She likes to interject herself. She's like me. She wants to be the center of attention. But that was the thing that really got on my nerves was I got tired of the constant. And then I would get these requests of like, oh, you need to talk about how such and such show is going woke or what, da, 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 da. I'm like, this stuff gets really old to talk about.
And
at
annoying.
At some point, you're just repeating yourself. And I don't mind getting on a stream and with my buddies and talking about how stupid a show is to me and how maybe I think it's woke or whatever. That's fine. But I don't need to make 20 videos about the same show talking about how much I think it's crap. What does that accomplish? It doesn't accomplish anything. No. And the only reason it does it, this is why YouTubers like The Quartering make so much money, is because as soon as something happens, they have to make a video yakking and yelling about it. And the first thing I always ask people, especially like Quartering, is this: I'm like, how does this affect you? Is anyone familiar with Mecha Random 42?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not here to talk shit about her. I'm not here to talk shit about her. But there's a reason why she's blocked me on Twitter. It's because for one point in time, her channel was the Brie Larson hate channel. That's all she did. Brie Larson this, Brie Larson that, Brie Larson, and Captain Marvel.
That's so cute.
Silence. Yes, she's your favorite character. Now be quiet.
Aww, that's so sweet.
But the thing that I'm getting at is she would make all these videos about it. I remember she finally posted a video about Brie Larson, and I called her on Twitter, and I called her out, on Twitter, and I said, why are you making another video about her? You have so many about her. Why do you keep talking about her? What is there new? Do you ever talk about anything positive? Do you ever say anything? It's always complaining about her. In every video, too. We know why she does it. It gets her the views. And every video, what does she do? She wears a low crop top, showing off the girls because she knows she's getting all the 14-year-olds doing this, watching her videos. And I'm like, what are you doing? You don't care about your message. You don't care about making entertainment better. You don't care about pushing these companies and these corporations to start listening to you, because if they did, you wouldn't have anything to bitch about and you wouldn't have YouTube views. And the same goes with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and it's nothing against him, but I stopped watching him and dropped the entire Phantom Menace off the top of my list because I was like, dude, you said for a year you weren't going to pay another dime on a Disney Star Wars show or movie.
And then review every show.
Rise of Skywalker comes out day one, 4-hour-long stream bitching and whining about it after he just paid to watch it. It's like, dude, you're a fucking hypocrite. Sorry.
Before I go, I have one thing that I have to say.
Okay. Go for it.
Fuck you, Alpha Eagle.
What? He's a F you, Alpha Eagle.
Oh yeah. Beta
Eagle.
Fuck off.
That's right.
and I know he's listening. That's the thing. So yeah.
Or F you, St. Michael. Fuck you, St. Michael too.
But hey, Tristan, one thing before I go, because I have to go. You get on my ass about using Twitter and how bad it is. I used TikTok for one day, and I saw 2 beheading videos, and I'm pretty sure child
what the
intercourse. Fuck? Yeah. What? So TikTok is not any better.
Oh my God. I've been on TikTok for months now, and I've never seen that. Oh my God. Report that shit.
No, dude. I saw it was like
insanity.
Yeah, it was like a little funny dance, some little side dancing, and then it cuts to a beheading video. So it's like,
Jesus fucking Christ.
When you see videos like that on TikTok, you got to report them because they're not supposed to be posting that shit. Most of the stuff
I don't use TikTok anymore. I don't even want to fucking deal with that. But anyway, fuck Alpha Eagle. Fuck Alpha Eagle. I'm gone. Fuck him.
Thanks, Shelby. Oh my gosh.
I actually have a TikTok channel under my secondary channel's name. And like I post mostly videos of the crap that I paint because I paint a lot of Warhammer miniatures and shit. But I haven't run into beheading videos and weird things like that. I keep getting thirst traps.
Oh yeah.
That's all I keep getting. And some of them I follow because I'm like, hey, she's pretty cool. She's doing all this cosplay shit. And then in the next video I see them posted like, oh, you're one of those. Okay.
My whole TikTok is literally filled with what's it called? Political stuff. Like all of it. Political and then a random Johnny Depp thing, but it's almost all political. I've never seen that side. That is free, or edits. Like people editing, the Batman or The Walking Dead or something like that. But no, holy crap. Yeah, I've never seen that. Oh my goodness.
I'll get a few politics ones every now and then, but not much. Go ahead, man.
Yep, before we wrap up, who here is now, apparently he hasn't been cemented in, but who here is looking forward to Dan Lin taking over as the Kevin Feige of DC?
I don't know a lot about him, but what I've seen looks promising.
Yeah.
Looking at his repertoire and his history, he seems like he would probably be more suited for the job, especially over that CW guy that they apparently looked at.
Berlanti?
Yeah. But the thing is a lot of people complained about him, and I was like, they were like, oh, well, CW, is woke and all this. I'm like, yeah, but you got to understand, he did build a very successful cinematic universe. with TV shows, with the Arrowverse. They may have fallen off a cliff over time, but they were pretty high and up there.
But that was because they let other writers dictate, I think Greg, here's what I said before about Greg Berlanti. Him and Jeff Johns together could work well, where Greg handles the production and Jeff handles the comics. And I'm pretty sure even Dan Lin is going to be the type of guy who, from what I understand, from what I've heard, he's the type of guy who will go to experts. He's not going to be the kind of guy like, I know what's best. He's going to be like, I'm understanding this stuff, but I'm going to reach out to experts and ask them their opinion. So I think he's going to be the kind of guy who's going to surround himself. He'll probably go to Jeff Johns or someone and ask him, like, what order.
Hopeful.
Like hopefully someone like Jeff Johns who knows comics, it's still in Hollywood, and be all like, what route should we go? What should be the route we go?
Well, here's the plus side of this Dan Lin guy taking over, and what Zaslav is trying to do with DC is he's literally putting somebody in charge that only reports to Zaslav. Yeah. He doesn't report to anybody else. He does. So if he decides to make a DC movie, he doesn't have to go talk to The Rock about his Black Adam character. He doesn't have to go over here and deal with whatever the comic side is doing.
Exactly.
It's all going to be under him. And
that's
he gets the final. He's going to say, this is what I want to do. He's going to tell Zaslav, this is what we're planning. And then Zaslav will say yay or nay. Exactly. And that's something DC has fucking needed, because there's too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people pushing different directions over there. The comic books can't even sync up with the people. I mean, go look at the comic book side and just look at all the weirdness that's been going on over there. And then look at the movie side. They can't even talk to each other.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I got to say, I think that's the other thing is that's the reason why you've had this whole division about should we cater to the Snyder Cult, should we not, and all that stuff. Because you have some people who are higher ups who don't know anything about comics who feel like, oh, yes, we should follow to them. And then others who are like, no, we shouldn't. I think we have someone who can be a definitive, like, we have a vision. It's not catering to these people. Our vision is telling a story. I'm hoping that's what we get. I mean, this is the same guy who helped produce. He didn't direct, but he produced the Lego Batman movie. One of the best Batman movies out there.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I don't know that I even, no matter who joins, I don't know that I have a lot of hope for the DC as a brand when it comes to movie until they prove it. Yeah. Because there has been a lot of really just shitty material that has came out. And then they're canceling good stuff. Well, at least personally, I think it's good. Like that Batman stuff that's coming up. To my understanding, I think Doom Patrol's on the chopping block, and the Young Justice stuff. So they do have good properties that they're not trying to get rid of, but cancel that are must not be successful. That's my only guess.
Well, it may not even be that they're not even successful. I think what it is, because he wants to put together this 10-year plan. He wants to get something up there that he wants to put someone in charge that can make calls and tell a cohesive cinematic story with the whole universe. I think the thing is they've got to figure out, well, what cinematic story are we going with here? How we have to sync these comic books up. We have to sync the movies up. All these animated shows have to sync up in some way too. And we have too much shit going. Here's the thing. You have the Harley Quinn show doing its own thing over here. You've got Doom Patrol doing its own thing over here. You got Black Adam and Shazam doing their own thing. Then you've got Aquaman 2 doing its own thing alongside with the Batman. You've got 15 different franchises running in the 15 different directions. The problem is how do you fix that? How do you bring that together? Well, one, you have to reduce the amount of cost that you're putting out there because, well, WB is in severe debt. And people say, well, Dazzle, I put it that way. No, they were already in debt the day they got purchased. Hell, believe it or not, the CW, and I've been reading on that, the CW has never been profitable. It was at a negative loss from the day it was created. And when it sold, apparently CW is going to somebody else now, and it went under a negative loss. It is worse. It is less than useless, or less than worthless. They're not even worth money. So the thing is when you have all these franchises, and it's true, you've got Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, Batman, four of the biggest, and Aquaman, 5, of the biggest superhero franchises that exist in comic book history. There is no fucking reason why any of those shows or those movies should be failing. But it's because they never put them in a cohesive story. They never tried to actually do things the right way. And now if you put this guy in charge, him and Zaslav have no choice. We need to clean slate all this so that we can either reboot it or figure out where we're jumping off from. And maybe that might be why Batfleck is coming back in Aquaman 2. is because it may not even be that they're continuing the Snyderverse, but they might want to continue having Ben Affleck as Batman and Cavill as Superman and all of that.
Exactly. Because if you have a good characters, keep them around. And I think
the writing is ominous. Are you cool?
Ominous there. What's going on?
Nothing. It's so cool.
Okay, sound like you were like making out with your mic. I was just making sure.
He's just doing his best horror movie and whatever imitation.
I was checking.
I did see today. I don't know if it's real or if it's not, but that there was some test screening or something of Shazam and or not Shazam, Black Adam, and Cavill might actually appear.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So I don't know if it was real. Now let's be fair. I think it was Comic Book Cast or one of those channels, and it could be something different. It could be fabricated because I never know with those things. But it would be nice. He deserves his great Superman movie. He really does. After all the shit that that he's been through with the Snyderverse and everything else, he deserves to have a really good, like an all-star Superman. That would be amazing to have that. And I know I say it all the time, but that inspirational Superman, that rising feeling in your chest, or the chills that you get when Superman does something great. But
he deserves the Superman stuff that he should have gotten. That unfortunately, guys like Brandon Rouse was denied until. What's that?
Oh my God, that's so cute.
It's just some picture my daughter drew a long time ago. It's a cacodemon from.
I was going to say it looks like a cacodemon. I was about to say it's a Doom cacodemon.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Aww.
Okay.
Tell her she's
Abby.
an awesome artist. She's awesome as an artist. She's so cute. But yeah, I do think that he deserves a really good story, and I've seen that the Flash has also been testing really well. As far as audience, like the test screenings have been very positive. So I'm hoping that's our point where maybe we get a refresher of that. But that also depends on Ezra. Like a lot of that depends on Ezra Miller, and now he's coming out and saying, "I'm sorry." But people aren't ready to say it's okay.
Well, the thing about Ezra Miller is the only reason he's saying I'm sorry is because somebody at WB called him and said, "You better shut the fuck up and stop it, or you're fucking canned and you're paying us back for all the goddamn losses you've cost us." And that can happen because there was a case recently. I think Kevin Spacey was sued by a movie studio or something because you remember all of his shenanigans. It caused him to be thrown out of some. Basically, the movie studio sued him because they believed that he hurt the brand. He's what caused the show to flop or fail. I forgot what it was. So he lost that case apparently. And if that happens, I mean, if that's true, the same thing could happen to Ezra Miller eventually. Because think about how much damage that man or person whatever. However much damage that person has done to the Flash movie. And people keep going, you need to cancel this movie right away. They need to cancel it. Like, they can't. They spent over $200 million on this movie. You can't cancel it. This isn't like Batgirl. Batgirl is a drop in the bucket. It's $90 million and they can write it off as a tax write-off. This thing is $200 million.
Exactly.
You can't just scrap it. You put it out there, you finish it, and you do your best to promote it and get the viewership and may recoup whatever money you can on that. This, like I said,
it seems like a pivotal point for DC. They're going to need to use that in order to maybe make this 10-year plan. So there's no way of getting rid of it. You have to just grin and bear it. And now it's going to be a year of, I'm sorry. And then we're probably going to get some of those videos of him like interacting with fans. Probably get some promotional shit like that, some activism work or something along that lines. And I don't think Ezra is a crazy person or anything. I'm not for
I think he is.
The issue with Ezra Miller is he's putting himself. Okay, you know what? I'm too old for pronouns. Ezra Miller is putting himself always on questionable situations. to say the least.
It's not just the shenanigans.
And that brings bad
Go ahead.
publicity for the Flash movie and for Warner Brothers and for the entire franchise. Yes, many people says, there's no such thing as bad publicity, but there is.
Well, there is, and one of the things is Ezra Miller has always been pretty fucking weird. I don't know if you've ever he's always kind of been a little bit of an odd one in the public with media, and all the shenanigans that happened on with him didn't help. I mean, go look up some of the interviews he did with back in the day for Justice League. Like, he has this one where it's like the cast interviewing the cast. It's Gal Gadot and him, and he's trying to get her to spout some weird Twitter style SJW type stuff, and it just sounds weird. And you can see Gal Gadot's just like, what are you trying to get me to say? It's a weird interview, but he's always been very odd. So the public has always never really had a very big have had a very good outlook on him, and then the recent news doesn't gonna help it either.
No, but I also don't want to be one of those people that thinks odd equals bad. Like, everybody's a little eccentric. He's just a little, or they're just a little bit more out there. I apologize. I know I did not use they correctly. I try. I promise.
I mean, but then there's, choking women and throwing chairs at bars, and then
it looks weird. It looks weird.
Or
it looks
breaking into somebody's house in the middle of Vermont to steal their alcohol. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he's kind of the individual has problems. Let's just put it that way.
No. I totally agree. I do think they need help. It felt like for a long time there it was maybe an addiction behavior, some sort of he was going through withdrawal and looking for a fix. It felt very
but it's
odd.
Not but the thing is it's not impossible for them to it's not impossible for them to make a comeback and rise from the ashes, because look, if Robert Downey Jr. can do it for Iron Man, Ezra Miller can do it any day of the week.
And it just takes time.
I mean, when I was told that Robert Downey was cast to play Tony Stark, I was like, who better to play a deranged drunk than a deranged drunk?
Oh my gosh, right? And
remember,
Robert Downey Jr. is loved. Go ahead, Hamina, sorry.
Remember, Robert Downey Jr.'s career was down before Iron Man.
It was almost dead.
It was
so bad.
Dead.
It was so bad. He was the bad guy in a Tim Allen movie. That's how bad it was. It was one movie.
Well, I mean, he wasn't all dead. His career was mostly dead.
Yeah.
Just one step away from all dead.
He was also doing Go ahead, Robert.
I was just gonna make a Princess Diaries joke about being mostly dead. I was gonna make that joke.
Hey, it works for everybody. Gina Carano is coming back as in my Hunter's laptop movie. I can't. I literally thought that was a joke.
I saw some image going around of I guess a Biden impersonator sniffing her, and she's oddly into it, and I'm going, this has got to be a Photoshop. Apparently it's real.
It's real, and I was shocked. Hold on, let me get this super chat. Joe to go, thank you so much. One point I didn't get to touch on with the boys, it's critical of corporate entities and media conglomerates. So it's ironic it was made by Amazon. Yeah, I guess I never even thought of that. So writers can insert their own commentary, but Amazon don't look better. Yeah, it is pretty ironic, but they do a really a fascinating job of showing the other side. Like when they wanted Maeve, when they did the Brave Maeve thing, and they were like, one of you has to be feminine and wear this, and they were just like, what? And she was like, well, I'm bi, and they're like, nope, you're a lesbian. they do such a really good job at that. But yeah, it is kind of ironic. I never even. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Joe.
I love the way they handled the Brave Maeve thing and the girls get it done thing, and that just completely insulting the corporate world on how they shill to those things. It's like, because there's so many people that just bow to it, and you're just like, stop it. They're only doing it because they want your money. Just stop. It looks cringy, and I love how they managed to make it so ridiculously cringy, but really get that point across to you of how fake it really is.
So how does a corporation? The only thing I can say is there really is no like moral purchases under capitalism, and I know somebody's going to take that out of context. One of my haters, and say that I'm a communist, which I'm not. But how do you even have a corporation really take stuff like the LGBTQ community or representation and diversity and do it correctly without making it feel like it's pandering? Is there any way to actually do that?
To be honest, I don't know in that situation. It's just, I know that over the last few years, it has felt like a real, buy our product, please. Look, look, gang, we're down with the cause. And it doesn't seem like the way you see it. And maybe it's open to interpretation, but the way I see it is, it just doesn't come off as authentic at all. It comes off as literally advertising. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. In the world of advertising, nothing is accident. As much as people try to say it is, there is no actual accidents in the world of advertising. And that's why you'll see those things and they'll be like, what are the kids talking about today on Twitter? Well, let's make a tweet about that. And then we can get our product sold that way, you know?
Agreed.
I just don't think there really is a method to make it seem authentic. I think the most authentic way of doing it is just not doing it. Just continue to advertise your product as normal instead of trying to make it seem like you're trying hard to push for somebody. You know, that's how I see it. It makes a lot of people roll their eyes too, because they're like, "Oh God, really?"
Yeah.
Kind of like the what was it? The old Gillette commercial that just didn't. It seemed so ham-fisted, or the what was the Jenner commercial with the soda can or whatever it was? It was so cringy.
Do you remember the Hardee's? I think it was Hardee's commercial where the girl was in the car and she was eating that hamburger like she was fucking it. Like, oh my God, Okay, yeah, no. Now I want a hamburger. Damn it!
I could say that in so many. I could say so many wrong things right now about that, but I've never seen that commercial. And I'm curious now.
Oh my God, I think it's Hardee's or it. Rallies, one of the two. It's like using this woman licking a fucking ketchup off of a hamburger. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Dude,
And
who the hell thought that was a good idea?
I'm sure it probably worked. Don't you remember like the Bud Light commercials and all that stuff?
Yeah, I don't remember them going that sensual.
That's true, but
the
it was
herbal essence. The herbal essence commercials. Anybody remember those? Where the woman would go in the bathroom to wash her hair.
Yes.
And then everybody's like, "I'll have what she's having."
Yes.
Yeah, but that's at least referencing, a movie.
Joe, thank you so much. I literally work in television industry. The reason why the news is opinionated because authenticity straight up doesn't sell well.
That's true. It is very true.
That's a really good point. Yeah. I don't know that there is, because especially with how freaking divided. Because even if they're trying to be authentic, if they have a queer person in the lead or a gay person, they're going to think it's not being authentic. They're going to think it's something else. So it's just a mess, an absolute mess. But,
I mean, over the years, we've seen so much of that type of stuff mishandled by media and movies and stuff so much, and utilizes tokenization so badly that now when anybody sees a show that's legitimately good, that doesn't seem as that's nowhere near like as woke as they want to say, as people say this, people automatically start jumping to that conclusion because they're so goddamn used to getting shitty representation. They're so used to getting shitty products. Where, in my opinion, every time I've seen, a show that is touted as being woke by the media and is touted, and the cast is propping up their entirety of how diverse their cast is and and all that, it always winds up being a shit product. It's because I think about it and I go, it's because you obviously didn't have any way to sell it otherwise because you didn't know what you were doing with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very fair.
That's why I still say when someone like Kevin Feige does it, when he goes on about the how woke or like powerful someone is, those are the times where I think it's either, and more times than not, showing that he's more saying that because I just want to cater to everyone. Even if they're going to go in there, they're going to go there and just see it because it's there. They're not going to care if it actually is good or not. They're just going to go there and watch it and sit down because I want to make sure I get everyone's butt in the seat.
And I do think there are people on those properties that may have genuine intentions.
Oh yeah.
And that's definitely there. But I do think that a lot of them, a lot of the corporations definitely push and definitely mishandle things, whereas you have, individual people that have the real intentions, but that doesn't tout over to the corporation.
Right.
Well, yeah, you're right about that. And the other thing is too, I think one of the biggest problems, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is I think one of the biggest problems is Twitter. I think too many movie studios and media companies and let's just say the entertainment industry in general, I think the entertainment industry in general puts way too much goddamn stock into what Twitter people are saying because they're thinking that Twitter is the majority. And when you look up the stats on it, you'll find that Twitter is nowhere near, not even a fraction of the country. And we're
like
just talking
9%.
about the US.
Like 9%.
Now,
it may be more now, but
okay, it may be less or more now. Now, the last study I heard was that it was like 22% of the country was on Twitter, but only 2% of that actually tweets.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so when you break it down even more to say whatever the audience is for something like She-Hulk, you're breaking down a percentage of a percentage of a percentage. And it's tiny. And that's the problem. Twitter clout, going on there and getting Twitter clout is not going to translate to sales because the majority of the country doesn't know what the fuck going on Twitter.
Yep.
Look, the internet, the shit that's going on, like the streams we have with YouTube, the streams we have on YouTube, the discussions we have on Twitter, all of that shit, Reddit, whatever. Nobody knows about that in the real world. Go outside to a person like a normal everyday Joe.
That's what we've been saying.
And just say, do you know what Gamergate is? And watch them say, what the fuck is Gamergate?
Yeah.
You're not going to know what that is.
That's what we've been telling so many of these people. But in their eyes, we represent the majority of the fans.
Exactly.
They act like they represent them all.
Yeah. And that's the problem. And the old Comics Gate thing. I used to go to different comic shops all the time. And I would talk about a lot of the issues with the comic book industry all the time with these people that run these shops. And you know what? Almost every shop I went to, no one knew what the fuck Comics Gate was.
Exactly.
Yeah. No one ever heard of that shit.
Here's the other thing is, you've been out there many times. I keep on hearing people say comic stores are dying. They are only selling merchandise or manga or the Barnes and Noble. All of them. I have this one example. They're all like that. And yet I say, I have my local comic store has 4 stores. 4. They added a 4th one recently. They make their money off of comics. Their manga section is crap. And, they have almost no mangas. And they say majority of their stuff is from the comics. They have been thriving since I was little. I have gone to local comic book stores that have had, and a lot of comic conventions that have had stores from all across the area. I'm in Michigan. I've had from Ohio, Indiana, Canada. These stores are still around, and they've all told me when I've asked them, They thrive on their comic sales. I've gone to my local Barnes & Noble. The comic section is bigger than the manga section. But you tell these people, you're lying. You're full of shit.
Wait,
well,
you know
that's
what?
not entirely untrue. And that's not entirely untrue because I will admit, a lot of the shops I went to out here, they had vastly said, okay, we're reducing our comics side and we are increasing our entirety of our manga side.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them are doing it. And then they're also shifting away from comics and selling more Funko Pops and regular toys.
Some places do that.
I have not, like, so I will admit, I've been, like I said, I used to go to comic shops all the time. I used to have a pull list. If you look behind me, you'll see there's a shit ton of comic books back there. But, I mean, if you also look behind me carefully, behind all this, you'll see nothing but Warhammer miniatures. But the thing is, yeah, I have a few pop figures. But the thing is some of the shops, they have been struggling, and that's what they had to do to make up for it. It happens. But it's not every shop. And that's
it's anecdotal.
Figure out too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just simply saying, though, that some shops, it depends on the area. And it seems Michigan is a big comic book place. Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, it's not like there's much to do in Michigan.
Well,
that's true.
This was read between the lines. Read between the lines.
All right, guys. I pinned the ad. Hominus was able to find it. Yes, he had it. You guys will have to check it out. It is an insane ad, but we're gonna wrap up. Thank you guys all for saving my stream because nobody had disagreements. So I would have sat
before
here
we go,
like a
before we go, Mickey Rourke didn't. I repeat, Mickey Rourke didn't destroy Tom Cruise and Top Gun Maverick. Just check out the numbers on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, that did phenomenal. Why would? Are you talking about that clip I released a long time ago?
I'm talking about that clip.
Give me a break.
We got a disagreement
I'm a small channel.
We finally got a disagreement.
I'm a small channel. I had to clickbait it.
Yeah, I know, but
You're
still,
much larger than me.
And me.
I'm trying. Yes, you're absolutely right, Hominus.
But Mickey Rourke came out as a really, really jealous guy on that interview on Fox News. I mean,
I get
went,
that.
Oh, Tom Cruise is what was the word? Irrelevant in my world. Okay, if Tom Cruise is irrelevant in Mickey Rourke's world, then why did he went to Fox News and talk all that shit? I'm just saying.
I get it. You are correct, Hominus. I did clickbait that.
I mean, Tom Cruise did make over $1 billion on his movie.
Yep.
Yeah, it did phenomenal. I still haven't seen the first one.
I was not expecting of all movies to be that big of a success, to be a sequel to Top Gun.
Yeah. That is absolutely insane. All right.
Wait,
before you head out, I was gonna say, Nerdette, you gotta rematch me sometime. I've got a Melina and I got a Shiva under my belt too.
All right, it's on. I actually won one, and I was like, "Yours." I am the queen of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
go ahead, Robert.
Who here thinks Avatar 2 is actually going to be as big as the first one, as big as Titanic, or do you think it's going to be a case where finally James Cameron's going to be humbled?
I hope he gets humbled this time around because I'm still confused why Avatar is getting a sequel this many years later.
I still haven't seen one.
He was waiting for technology to catch up again.
Yeah, I still haven't seen one, so I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. Top Gun, 1.4 billion. That's insane. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up. Thank you all so much for saving my stream.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
No problem. This was fun. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.